Hello, my dear little green friends. Some guys among you were very kind to me a few days ago, so I decided to make the short version of this video in English just for you, and you could understand it much better. And I want to show you some very interesting values, some very interesting numbers. I believe you even do not know about it, and you do not realize that these values exists about open wounds. If we took the quest of high-speed killing Ubers with physical damage, for now it's with Barbarian, but also you can use different other different classes like Assassin, like maybe Druid. How important open wounds? Okay. For example, my choice here, the Flash Reapers. It's very good. It is great weapon, I believe here. Okay, let's talk about open wounds. How much open wounds I need to kill Ubers really fast and do not feel if I want how it say, I do not want to feel some issues with open wounds. How much percent of chance of open wounds shall I have for this? Let me show you these charts, these calculations. Look here. This is the mathematician program. I do not create a different program, or I do not use Excel or some other simple soft. But look here, I have the probabilities 50%, 33%, 20%, 10%. This formula, this function, what this function means. This is the probability that if you have P, the chance to apply open wounds to monster, like 50, 33, 20, 10%, after N hits, not to apply open wounds to monsters. The formula is very simple. 1 minus this probability, if P the probability to apply open wounds, 1 minus P, the probability not to apply open wounds. If we have the sequence of N hits, and each of this hit do not apply the probability, the total probability not to apply open wounds after N hits, we can calculate with this formula. 1 minus P in power N. So let's look at these charts and these calculations. First row, it's with 50% open wounds, 33, 20, and 10% of open wounds. Let's see in the bottom. After 15 hits, with probability, with chance 10% of open wounds, after 15 hits, we still have 20% chance that we not apply open wounds to the monster. This is 1 from the 5 chance. 1 divided by 5. Yes, it's a huge, it's a very, it's a lot, guys. Why I took here the 15 hits? Because very simple. If we took a maximum attack speed, or better say hit check speed for Barbarian with double blades on Whirlwind, we will have 12.5 hits per second, 0.3 or 30% is the chance to hit Uber Bale, the most ugly guy in this point. With 30,000 attack rating, we shall have near the 30% chance to hit him, including block. It means that we have 3.75 hits per second, successful hits per second in average. So I took 4 seconds and 15 hits. This formula shows us the regeneration rate and regeneration speed. For example, 4 seconds. Ubers, I believe, except Diablo and Duriel, have 1.2% regeneration per second from their maximum health. So you can see for 4 seconds they will regenerate near the 5% usual Ubers, and probably I cannot confirm this, but it looks like true that Uber Duriel and Uber Diablo will have near the 10% regeneration for these 4 seconds if you do not apply open wounds during this time. No, the rest of equations you already understand, you already see, yes? So with 10%, after 15 hits, we still have 20% chance we do not apply open wounds to the monster. With 20%, 20% just look like twice better, but already good. Maybe the 10% is already good, but let's compare that. After 15 hits, we have 3.5% of that we do not apply open wounds. It's a small value, yes, probably. So I put the measure near the 5%. When we have this probability lower than 5%, so I can say probably we already apply open wounds to the monster. If not, this is a rare situation, and probably we can say this is a very big unluck to not apply the open wounds after such number of hits. And let's compare by this value. So we see here with 10%, we even do not see where we have this value 5% chance not to apply after several hits. So also make the point that open wounds applied for 8 seconds, and this is 15 hits. This is the after 4 seconds. So, for example, if we're talking about Uber Bale, probably we will have near the 30 hits for 8 seconds. Yes. What does it mean? It means that if you have only 10% or a chance of open wounds, it is possible that with such chance of open wounds for 30 hits or 8 seconds, you probably do not apply open wounds enough times, you understand. Probably you can apply it once, but after 8 seconds you do not reapply it. So this level of open wounds also bad, because the Uber, after you start hitting him and even start his regeneration, then he could start it again. Yes. So let's see. On the 14 hit here with 20%, we have lower than 5% chance not to apply open wounds. I can say this is good, but in compare with 10%, this is very good. Yes. And let's see on the 33%. Why I put these values. 10%, this looks like you use only blood belt or gore rider, for example. Many guys believe that if they have such value, it's already enough, or if I use very, very low budget gear or extremely low gear, so you'll see, yes, 20%. For example, if you use both, yes, blood belt, for example, and gore rider, for example, yes, what we can see, 13 or maybe 14 hit, you have the needed value. Yes, 5%, 5.5, 4.4, this is this measure. Where could we say probably we got the open wounds on the monster. But here, with 33%, this is the percent which duress gives us. If we got only if we got open wounds only from this item. This measure is after 7th on 8 hits, we have already less than 5% chance to not apply open wounds. It's much better than here. You see, here we got the 14 hit, here we got 8 hits, almost 2 times better. Yes? And if we look here, 50%, for example, for a Flesh Reaper have 50% of open wounds, chance of open wounds. You can see on the 5th hit you got this measure with gap, 3.5% not to apply, and if you look far, you can see on the 10th hit this chance is less than 0.1% not to apply open wounds. So I could say 10%. It's really terrible. It's really terrible value. Even if you just try to kill Ubers, if you have goal, just kill Uber, even with not a bad gear. 20% is already, it must work already. You can see by these values. But if you put some goals like fast Uber killing, this is not acceptable. 33%, it's not the best. Yes, you understand. It's not the best, but it's already fine, maybe. It's already fine, because probably after 2 seconds you already will have the open wounds even on Bale. So for this time, yes, he will regen. But if you also have a good crushing blow, it's not a very big problem, especially in the beginning. And with such amount of open wounds, probably you will have. You will refresh open wounds if you do not kill him in 8 seconds, so it's not so bad. For example, if you have Duress and Gore Rider, the situation is much better. Yes, you can see on the 6th hit you will have less than 5% chance. On the 12th hits it's 0.1% not chance not to apply. It's good enough. Yes, good enough value of open wounds. And here you already see this is, I could say this is a excellent value. For example, if I use Flesh Reaper and Gore Rider, for example, situation is even better, you can see. But even 50%, it's already very good. So I believe this value near the 33% is the some point you need to have this, or better to, if you want to try, if you want to kill Uber as fast as possible, because with less values you can see the situation. Yes, 10% it's really terrible. With 20% it will work, but this is a really high chance to have unlock. So you need a lot, much more tries to do it, to have better chances to kill Ubers really fast, because you have you have a really good chances to have unlock here. Yes, probably with such amount and good enough speed, the Ubers will not start to regenerate, but you have some troubles with them before you do it, and if you fight 3 at once, if you hit in all of them, you will have some issues with such value. So do not forget about it. Maybe that's all, but also I can show you my choice to build my fast Uber killer. This is not the final build. I have no time now for playing, but I believe the Flash Reaper is much better than any other weapon. This weapon have only one big minus and one very small minus. It do not have such a great damage, clear physical damage like Grief had, but and also it a bit slower than Grief. It could be sensitive, for example, with Uber Duriel, but this is not a big deal, because usually you fast Uber Duriel, you find Uber Duriel very fast, and you fight with Uber Duriel one-on-one. You do not need to kill other monsters. So even if I have 50% less attack speed on the Holy Freeze with Uber Duriel, it's not a big problem here. But look at other options here. Minus 50% target defense. It's huge, yes. 45% of chance of crushing blow with bear, because 25 is basic value. It's good enough, because this plus this is already 15. So in this setup I have 95% of crushing blow. I make my calculations. For example, crushing blow near the 100% versus crushing blow near 50%. With any elite weapon, we have twice faster speed with 100% of chance of crushing blow, because it always makes not less than maybe 35% of damage. So crushing blow, I believe, it's huge. 33% of deadly strike. It's a lot, because here we have 15, with this 10 it's already 25. With this, how much? 58%, yes, and also we have the critical strike from the mastery, so I believe we have near the 70% of double damage in this setup. It's good. It's good. 50% chance of open wounds. With this 10, it's already 60. So it's great. Prevent monster heal do not works with Ubers, but slow target also. This option works with Ubers, and they do not run a lot, and probably it's also save you a bit, but I do not. Yes, it must work with whirlwind, so this is fine. And here is the one hidden difference with all these variations of weapon you can use to try kill uber fast. Flash Reaper have range 1, Face Blade have range 3. It means hit checks will apply in very short area near the Barbarian, so when he whirlwinding, so it helps to focus Uber. Yes, you need to click a bit better, because if I click far from Uber, I simply will rotate and do nothing, and just losing time. But if I click near the Uber like I should, it could be much better chance that I will hit my target and not other Uber, or not other monster, for example. Also, you must understand, by I just show you what values of open wounds do you need. So if you use, for example, Grief or other weapons that do not have open wounds, and the minus of Grief here, it do not have crushing blow also, which is very important. So you need to use duress. This is no way. Also, the options is Enigma and Fortitude, but I believe, to me, the best option here is Chains of Honor, because it also have 20% damage to demons. Also skills, also straight, and very high resistances. It helps me not to keep a lot of... I do not need these charms, really. This is the not final, this is just testing variation of this build. Now I understand I could use different charms here, and these charms would be much cheaper than these charms I have here. So here I use Chains of Honor, here I use Angelics, of course, Gore Rider, Lion of Hands, Flash Reaper, Nudge, Demon Limb to enchant. Also, I make the calculations, and they show that if Uber without curse and Uber with curse do not matter decrepify or amplify, because they both boost the at first the crushing blow damage. Uber will die twice faster if we compare with curse and without curse. And the difference between the amplify and decrepify not so great, and yes, it feels better if you use the high value your prime damage weapon. So if this is if you use Griefs, yes, you probably do not need decrepify, you need amplify damage. And here also, what can I say? If we took Frenzy Barb, we can use, this is maybe not correct item from the editor. It cannot be ethereal, but this is the perfect roll. But look here, Chains of Honor, double Lawbringer, Crown of Ages. Probably yes, you need to use charm. I try something like this, Eternity, because it gives you cannot be frozen, but double Lawbringer gives you 40% to cast decryptify, I count this much better than 20% from one and cannot be frozen from second. So I can put here chum and probably different. Here I put bear. To have to make him survival, I need to use on him fate from treachery. With fate from treachery, he has more than 300% resistances, more than 50%. No, you know, 50% is maximum of damage reduction. So under my battle order, he will have enough life, and also he have iron skin, so he have some defense. It also helps him, especially against the mobs at first. So he could survive absolutely 100%. I test this. And the second variation, if I do not use this machinery, I could use 2 Gavel of Pains. I need to have it somewhere, maybe here or in inventory, and I swap it with Naja Puzzler. And probably I need 2 of them, because also I just say to you the difference between killing speed with curse and without is 2 times. So probably if I open here the portals, and if I open the Tristram portal here, I could drop second Gavel of Pain here, drop some potions here, for example, rejuice if I need them. Yes, you need to give him some potions, rejuvenation potions, but not a lot. So we have 6 Ubers and 6 charges. This is enough. I can say I can use amplify damage on each of these Ubers, and they will die really very, very fast. Believe me, I make some video, you even can try, you can find them and look. Even with this not final build, he will kill them very, very fast. The Uber Tristram, it's different because you have a lot of summons, because they all 3, you need some strategy, you need some luck, but also if I have here the fresh Gavel of Pain with 3 amplified chargers, I believe it's enough to kill them under these curses, so they will die very fast. And also this guy also could survive even if I fight for several times with all 3. In this case, I need to kill Mephisto maybe the first, because if I kill Mephisto first, then I can say, okay, even if he lose fate, but if he lose fate, it means I already killing Ubers a very long time. But anyway, if this happens, he will survive anyway, because this guy is really strong. Yes, and if I have the Gavel of Pain and Amplify, I do not need this guy at all. I could do this solo. Probably I could use just technically the Mercenary from the 3rd act to have much greater level of the enchant. Yes, this is possible. Just to give him the items with +2 skills. To have enchant, for example, I can give him double spirit, shake or something like this, chains of honor or something like this. Maybe even Arcane Valor could be fine. Make the battle command on him, and after this take enchant from him, will be good. It will be a huge boost to the attack rating, even more than now. He got 20,000 after Demon Limb. He have 30,000. Probably after enchant from that guy, he will have much more. So 30,000 is enough. So I could throw away some of these charms. Probably I even could to change one angelic on the Raven Frost, for example. So this is the situation. Why I like this build very much? It's very cheap, really. Maybe for now I do not need these charms. I could use only 5% resistant charms. I need few bear rooms, so you understand. On the non-ladder softcore, they are really cheap. Maybe the most expensive thing now here is the 1515 jewel in this G-phase, but I can't say probably it will be just beyond phase with charm rune in the final build, because I changed this. I put this belt here just for fun. So probably after some trainings I really can try to do something interesting with this build, but believe me, I do not have such a goal. It's just for fun. Let's see what did he has. This faster hit recovery, not good in this build. 60% chance of open wounds, 95% of crushing blow. It's not the 100, but it's near. So if you want to do this, you can use this really. You can modify this. What I use here, this is just to have my resistances. This is not probably no. I need them because with Fate from Treachery I will have only 300s near here. And here I put just charms with attack rating. With better enchant, for example, I could change this steel charms, steel grand charms, and something different. But also note, this charms is good, but these charms not so expensive like charms with plus 10 to maximum damage, plus 75 to attack rating, especially if plus 2 life. These charms not so expensive, so you also could have them. Maybe that's all. Yes, maybe last thing I have to say about killing Ubers, especially if you try to do this, you will see the killing single Uber juniors. It's really very simple, because yes, they could have some mobs around, and also very often near the Lilith you can have one boss pack, even two boss packs. This is possible. They are dangerous to you, to your merc, but you focusing just one Uber. This is not so hard to kill one single Uber. And when you go to the Uber Tristan, here you could have some really very bad situations. For example, if they start running around, they could run into the house or something else. Very many situations that could have appear, and they will crush your try permanently, because you can do nothing to increase the speed of your killing. But you must know that whirlwind do not have the real area damage. So even if all three Ubers standing in your range and you whirlwind in them, so all your hits will divide among them. So in this case, I believe if you can focus one Uber with your whirlwind, it's much better than you trying to focus to hit them all in the same time. This is probably we need to prove this with some practice, but I have this feeling. So, my little green friends, my dear little green friends, goodbye.